Easy Wealth Podcast, where learning about money feels easy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Easy Wealth Podcast, where we talk about money and wealth in a simple way. I'm Emma, and here with me as always is Jack. Jack, today we're talking about the financial mistake that quietly traps people earning $60,000, $80,000, even six figures.
And the scary part is, a lot of them don't even realize it's happening until they're stressed every single month.
Because on paper, they look successful. Good salary, nice flat, good area. But behind the scenes?
Payday comes in and disappears immediately.
Exactly. And contrary to what people love saying online, this usually is not about coffee, takeaways, or tiny daily spending.
It is housing.
Yes, housing. And more specifically, how people accidentally build a lifestyle that looks successful, but quietly destroys their cash flow.
The monthly financial heart attack.
Exactly. Because a lot of people think, I can technically cover the rent, so I'm fine. But that is not the right question. The real question is, after the rent goes out, how much life do you actually have left?
Okay, isn't there a rule for this? The 30% rule?
Yep. The old advice is keep housing under 30% of your income. Sounds simple, but most people calculate it completely wrong.
They use their salary before tax.
Every time. Let me give you a real example. Someone earns $60,000 a year. Decent money, right?
Most people would say you should be comfortable on that.
So they do the maths. Monthly salary around $5,000. 30% of that is $1,500. Perfect, they think. $1,500 rent is totally reasonable.
But
after tax, national insurance, pension, what actually lands in their account every month might only be around $3,800. So that 30% rent, it's actually closer to 40%.
And nobody told them. They just signed the lease.
Exactly. So forget the number on your contract. What matters is how much hits your account, how much disappears into fixed costs, and how much you've actually got left. That's the real number.
Not the LinkedIn number.
Definitely not that one.
Okay, so what actually feels healthy? Walk me through it.
Right. Forget the exact percentage for a second. Let's talk about what each level actually feels like. Under 25% of what lands in your account, you've got breathing room. Life feels okay.
That sounds nice. Theoretical, but nice.
25 to 30%? Still healthy. You're in good shape.
Manageable. I can work with that.
30 to 40%? It starts to tighten. You're fine until you're not.
That until you're not is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
It really is. 40 to 50%? Stress starts building. Every month feels a little too close to the edge.
Oh, yes. Been there. Not fun.
And over 50%? One unexpected bill and you're having a very emotional conversation with your overdraft.
I know that conversation personally. It does not go well.
And honestly, at the end of the day, the percentage matters less than this one question. After rent, how much have you actually got left?
Because same percentage, completely different reality depending on where you're starting.
Right. Someone with $8,000 landing in their account every month, spending 40% on housing, they've still got nearly $5,000 left.
Uncomfortable, but survivable.
Now imagine someone with $2,500 coming in. Same 40%.
That's $1,500 left for literally everything else.
Food, transport, bills, kids, emergencies, everything.
That's not a budget, that's a puzzle.
Same percentage, completely different life. So after housing, you should still be able to save something, put something away for the future, handle a surprise without panicking, and, actually enjoy your life sometimes.
Not just survive to the next payday.
That is the real test. not whether the landlord approved your application.
So how do people even know if they are paying too much?
The warning signs usually show up emotionally before they show up mathematically. You're anxious all the time. Payday disappears fast. Every bill feels heavier than it should.
And what's interesting is, you might technically be at only 30% and still feel like you're drowning.
Exactly, because the percentage alone doesn't tell the full story. A single person with no dependents has a very different reality from someone supporting kids, parents, or carrying debt.
Same number, completely different pressure.
Every time. And I think a lot of people listening right now already know. Deep down, they already know. They just haven't said it out loud yet.
Because saying it out loud makes it real.
Very true. But not saying it doesn't make it go away. It just becomes this background noise, that low-level stress that never fully disappears.
Like a noise you just learned to live with.
You don't have to keep living with it.
Okay, but I want to address something. Because I think some people listening are in a situation where the rent is too high, and they genuinely cannot just move.
Yes, and this is so important. Because just move somewhere cheaper might be the most useless advice in the world if you have kids in school, a job with a fixed location, family nearby, or a lease that's locked in for another year.
Real life has constraints. You can't just snap your fingers.
So let's talk about what you can actually do right now, even if you're stuck where you are.
Okay, first thing?
First, and this might sting a little, stop chasing the perfect home before you've built financial stability.
Oh, that one hits.
Because I see this pattern all the time. Someone gets a pay rise, and the first thing they think is time to upgrade. Bigger place, better area, new build, city center.
Because it feels like, I made it. I deserve this now.
And that feeling is completely human. Honestly, I remember doing this myself years ago. I got a pay rise, moved into a much nicer flat, convinced myself it was the adult thing to do. And within about 2 months, I realized I'd accidentally removed every bit of breathing room from my finances.
That's such a real feeling.
Yeah, nothing looked wrong from the outside. But internally, every unexpected expense suddenly felt stressful again. And that's when I realized looking financially successful and actually feeling financially stable are two completely different things.
You earn more, you spend more, and somehow it still feels tight.
Exactly. Your first financial goal shouldn't be the perfect lifestyle. It should be financial stability. The lifestyle comes after, not before.
Feed the assets first, then the assets pay for the life. We talked about this in episode 8.
Exactly that.
Okay, what else?
Second thing, and I think this one is really important. Stop obsessing over small spending while ignoring giant fixed costs.
The classic cut your coffee advice.
Yes. Look, a $5 coffee is not going to make you rich or poor. But a $200 extra on rent every month? That's $2,400 a year. That's a meaningful investment contribution. That's an emergency fund.
Fixed costs are the ones that hit you every single month automatically, whether you feel like it or not.
Rent, car payment, childcare, subscriptions you forgot you had. These are the ones that quietly shape your entire financial life because you can't pause them. You can't skip them. They just go out.
So if you want to change your financial situation, that's where to look first, not the coffee.
Not the coffee.
Okay, what if you literally cannot move right now? Lease locked in, kids in school, work location, real constraints. What then?
Then the goal shifts. You can't change the rent right now, so you focus on cash flow repair.
Cash flow repair? What do you mean?
It means looking at every other thing leaving your account each month. Is there a subscription you don't use? A debt with a brutal interest rate? A car payment you could reduce?
Oh, yes. Clear the smaller leaks so the bigger one hurts less.
Exactly. Then start building a small buffer, even if it's only $30 or $50 a month. Not for investing, just for breathing room, so one unexpected bill doesn't wreck the entire month.
Because that buffer changes how the whole month feels.
Completely. It's the difference between anxious and just okay. And once you're okay, you can start thinking clearly about the next move.
You can't build wealth from a place of constant panic.
Beautifully said. You need just enough breathing room to start thinking like someone who has options.
Can I add something?
Sure.
I think one thing nobody talks about is how much social media has completely warped what normal looks like.
Oh, yes.
Like TikTok apartments, aesthetic kitchens, the clean girl lifestyle. Everything looks effortless and beautiful and expensive. And after a while you start thinking, wait, is this just what normal life looks like now?
No, it is not. But your brain doesn't know that. So you start making financial decisions based on a version of normal that doesn't actually exist.
People aren't just renting homes anymore.
They're renting an identity.
That line.
And the scary part? Nobody feels like they're doing it. It just happens gradually, one upgrade at a time.
Okay, so we've been talking about situations where high rent is a problem. But I want to be fair here. Is high rent always wrong?
No, this is really important because I don't want anyone listening to feel like we're saying, never spend money on where you live.
Right, context matters.
High rent can make complete sense. If you're in a city for a specific career opportunity and you know it's short term. If you're in a school catchment area that genuinely matters for your kids. If you're earning well and still saving and investing consistently. High rent is not the enemy.
The enemy is paying high rent on autopilot, without asking whether it's actually the right trade.
That's true. The question is always, is this a conscious choice? Or is this just what happened?
Were you pushed into this by comparison? By what looked normal? By wanting to feel like you'd made it?
Or did you look at your numbers, weigh the trade-off, and decide, yes, this makes sense for my life right now?
Huge difference.
Huge. So here's what I want everyone listening to take away today. Your home should support your life, not quietly suffocate your future.
That's the line.
And this week, one thing. Work out what rent costs you as a percentage of what actually lands in your account every month. Not your salary, what shows up. Just see the number clearly.
Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's a good thing.
And if the number is higher than you'd like, don't panic. Just pick one thing. Negotiate your rent when the lease renews. Cut one fixed cost. Or start a tiny emergency buffer, even $30 a month.
One step. That's all.
You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need enough breathing room to start making better choices.
And if you want the full system, how savings, investing, and budgeting all connect, go back to episodes 1 and 2.
That's a wrap on episode 9. Thank you so much for being here every single week. You are building something real, and we are so proud of you for showing up.
If this episode made you think differently about your housing costs, send it to someone who needs to hear it.
And like this video and leave us a comment. Tell us what is your one step this week.
See you next week. Bye.